The Second Amendment reads, quote, "A well-regulated militia being necessary for the security of a free state, comma, the right to bear arms shall not be infringed."
Apologies to Ranking Member Nadler if this isn't what he stated, but I think he might have left out some key words when he read the Second Amendment, and I'll read it here. "A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed." And I'm not sure if I heard him say the people, which applies to all of the people, as we well know.
The NRA wins a monumental case against the state of New York. Welcome to another installment of the Connecticut Gun Bench. Today's video is brought to you by P.A.N. Firearms, LLC. P.A.N. Firearms, your NRA certification and multifaceted gun training. You can reach us at 203-300-6343 or use our website at www.panfirearmsllc.com. As always, there'll be a link in the description box below. And you like channel, like content, what I do here, you can support me with the link. Everything's appreciated. Connecticut residents, plan on getting your permit for the state of Connecticut. Make sure you get your training and your paperwork turned in before July 1st. Training has been changed, but the modification, there seems to be real gray areas with it, and there seems to be shenanigans going on with the state with this whole thing. If you have your permit, watch the expiration date. Don't let it expire. There's a link to the online renewal portal for the state of Connecticut for permits in the description box. Keep an eye on that. Let's talk about this, and this is huge because this basically started as a First Amendment case, but now it does expand itself into other realms, and I'm going to point that out as I go. But 2018, the NRA filed lawsuit against the state of New York, claiming that they were violating their First Amendment rights. What was happening was the state of New York was putting pressure on banks and other financial institutions to not do business with the NRA in the state of New York because of, they wanted to curtail their advertising and what have you. The NRA took them to court, claiming a First Amendment violation. It was NRA versus Volo. And the NRA has a monumental decision in a surprising way, and you're going to find out why I'm surprised that you need the majority to win, but these guys got the majority in this decision. Let me give you some info here, but let's jump in. NRA wins Supreme Court decision in NRA versus Volo. On May 11th, 2018, over 6 years ago, it took 6 years for this case to get to the Supreme Court. The National Rifle Association filed a lawsuit in federal court alleging the government of New York violated the organization's First Amendment rights by coercing third-party, particularly insurance companies and banks, to cease to do business with the NRA. The government officials explicitly stated their dislike of the advocacy of the NRA to promote gun ownership and the Second Amendment. The opinion was issued May 30th, 2024. The ruling was expected, as explained in a previous article. Now I'm going to come down to here. The Supreme Court decided to hear the case. Oral arguments were heard on March 18, 2024. The Supreme Court issued its ruling on May 30th, 2024. It was a unanimous opinion, 9-0 in favor of the NRA and the First Amendment. Yeah. I expected a 6-3, 7-2, possibly, definitely a 5-4, 9-0, which means all the leftists on the court said, nah, this ain't right. That there's biases all the way across the board. That's why I'm like shocked. But Justice Sotomayor wrote the majority opinion. Justice Gorsuch and Justice Jackson both wrote concurring opinions. Wow. Okay. I don't have to get any further into that, but I'm coming out of here, but wow. Yes. I am stunned. I am stunned that the liberal members, because the modern day, let me just make this clear. The modern day liberal is not the true definition of liberal. Joe Rogan, I consider Joe Rogan to be a classic liberal. The modern day liberal is nothing more than an authoritarian fascist, period. So I'm stunned that the liberal members of the court actually went with the Constitution and ruled in favor of an organization that they personally can't stand because of what it stands for. Yes, I'm still surprised. But as I was saying, this sets precedent for other things going forward. Because remember, I've talked about it a lot, where credit card companies are basically being made to make new MCC codes for firearms and ammunition purchases. When these local governments start going against gun ownership by circumventing it through, advertising, they don't like the way it was advertised, or whatever it may be, this is going to set a footmark to say, well, you really can't do that. That's why I thought this case was incredibly important. Look what happened. A perfect example is Sandy Hook. They used the commerce clause in like some kind of advertising clause in Connecticut law to sue basically Remington for what happened. And it's like, well, wait a minute, you're circumventing PLCAA in probably the most backwards way possible, but it worked because, well, you have activist judges who just allowed it to go through without. We had one who said, no, this is a violation of the PLCAA, but of course, as it went higher, they reinstated it. And I'm surprised that the Remington didn't take this to the Supreme Court and say, look, I mean, it did. The insurance companies for Remington settled because there's a big story behind all that. Remington did not settle by themselves. The insurance companies that basically backed Remington settled the whole case because Remington had been sold off at that point in time to another company. And members of the Sandy Hook coalition that were involved in this lawsuit basically went to that new owner and said, yeah, stay out of our lawsuit, stay out of our way, don't try to stop us. So that's a whole nother thing. But this court case here, NRA versus Volo, is setting a really nice, pretty footmark to prevent people from going after gun companies, individual gun owners, circumventing the PLCAA and trying to use financial institutions as some kind of blackmail system, telling them you got to stop doing business with these people, like the local gun stores. The state can go to the banking systems and say, hey, we don't want you doing business with gun stores. This helps to prevent that from happening. So this is a great thing, a 9-0 decision. That's freaking awesome. Love it. But let me know what you think. As always, you can leave your comments in the comment section below. And as always, any statements of violence or statements that lead to violence will be removed. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you're notified the next time a video goes live. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.